We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the SoDo district of Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he returns this to the 22.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It was Danielle Hunter to make the play in the backfield. Well, the first play in the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
At the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a gain of 9, but it's also going to mean a punt here on their opening drive. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. 2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Chris Carson has proven to be a workhorse for the Seattle Seahawks, and they continue to expand his game. We know that he can run inside and be a bruising type of a player, but he has surprising speed to the perimeter, and they've expanded his game now by throwing it to him out of the backfield. In 2019, in the top 10 in the league in touches and yards from scrimmage.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Anthony Barr in on the tackle. They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That's complete to Swain. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
On 1st down, it's Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Philip Dorsett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
From the gun, it's McDonald. That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
McDonald's pass.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And it's a fumble, and the Seahawks have recovered. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Seahawks 7, Vikings 0.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions, and then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
Here's Carson. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the final clocking on the next-gen stats there. How about this? 22.1 miles per hour. Wow. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that. All
the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
On the carry, it's Cook. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Out of the gun, McDonald. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
As the tight end position continues to grow in importance and gain respect, you understand even more why the Vikings selected Irv Smith out of Alabama in 2019 in the 2nd round. They already had a big-time tight end in Kyle Rudolph. But now with Smith, you diversify the offense. You've got 2 big targets who can go down the middle of the field and make big catches. Expect that trend to continue in 2020.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game. And he puts it through.
Makes the score Seahawks 13, Vikings 7.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
The tackle made by
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. This is Carson. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Tackled at the 25.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Abdullah to return. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 44-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd and 2, McDonald. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
22-yard line.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And caught left side, Olsen. That catch good for only a couple.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They go play action now. Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Underneath, he's got Olsen. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
Greg Olsen was a big-time pickup for the Seattle Seahawks in the offseason. Spent the last 9 seasons with Carolina as an all-pro, Pro Bowl tight end, and did the same thing before that with the Chicago Bears. Now he moves to the Northwest and gives Russell Wilson a big-time target in the middle of the field.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. To throw again, Wilson. He goes right back to Metcalf, this time complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Wilson will throw again. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, and now it's 2nd down.
He was covered by Jeff Gladney.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let him a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Taken about 7 yards deep, and Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Cook.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, McDonald, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So they get the first down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, McDonald. Over the middle to Smith. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They run. Cook. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks' 18-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They run again with Carson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Good gain by Chris Carson. Picks up a first down, and you just have to love his running style. Talk about a straight-ahead guy, no-nonsense type of a runner. He's averaged 82 yards a game over the last 2 seasons.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now he dumps this off over the middle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
He'll find Metcalf. And some room to maneuver. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Point after here coming up. And oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because...
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted. But they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
And Russell Wilson gets sacked, and he tied for the most sacks in the NFL last season with 48 in total. But Seattle likes to throw the ball deep. So that means you're going to take more time to get the ball downfield. Sometimes the offensive line can't hold up, and he ends up hitting the deck on those plays.
Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. McDonald, complete. Jefferson to target. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, the evidence is once again presented why he was such a top target at LSU. And Justin Jefferson carrying that over to the NFL. He's what a lot of people call a natural pass catcher. What I love about him, his ability to play the ball in the air, and at the moment of truth, go up and take it from a defensive back. This guy is smooth.
Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. They'll come out in the pistol. From the gun, McDonald. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McDonald to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McDonald, he's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter, you're going. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Now Wilson down around his goal line. And Olsen over the middle. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Justin Jefferson, the rookie, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync